Hey everyone, it's Michael Kikle. I hope you're doing well today, and I have a review here for another film from this 8-movie Christmas box set thing I've been talking about here on the channel, and this particular one is another great one that I was very impressed with. Sorry, I dropped my box set here. This is a 1950 black and white film that I didn't expect to be in here, any black and white movies at all, because everything in here felt like kind of Hallmarky knockoffs and Hallmark wannabes for that matter. But this movie here from 1950, like I said, is in black and white. It's the only one in the set that's in black and white. I was not excited to see it, but it's called The Great Rupert, and it's down here at the bottom. Now, I saw this picture compared to another Hallmarky-looking one that I just reviewed that was also excellent, and Hobo's Christmas, which looked like shit but was a bad movie anyway, so it might as well be. It's very fitting. But The Great Rupert looked like a Photoshop photo of I don't know who's on the inside of the house, the squirrel or Santa. Anyway, I watched this kind of reluctantly, but when I put it on the TV and found out it was in black and white, I got very excited because I was hoping it would be a hidden gem classic, and it starred Jimmy Durante also, who I did not know was going to be in this. For anybody who doesn't know, he is the guy who sings Frosty the Snowman in the very famous Frosty cartoon that all of us love and watch every year. I love Jimmy Durante. There's something about him. He's like a relative that you love, that just makes you smile and laugh. He's a very humorous, funny dude. He's a musician, and he's so good here. But anyway, getting to The Great Rupert movie, I guess you could say, I was under the impression and the fear of this being about the squirrel from the cover here. And it kind of is, but it becomes a side plot very quickly, basically about I guess we could start with the beginning of the movie. An old man who is good at training animals to dance and sing. He has a little buddy, a squirrel, named Rupert, that he trained to tap dance and stuff. And it is so funny. I love that squirrel. I love the old man. But the old man is about to lose his house. He basically has a split house with a landlord. The landlord's kind of stuffy and mean, but he isn't able to pay his rent. He's about to get kicked out and does get kicked out because he keeps missing up opportunities to get the squirrel famous through a circus or a regular show or some kind of way like that. Things just are not good for him. He's down on his luck and he has to leave. And when he leaves, I think it's in New York City if I remember correctly, he tells Rupert, go on, be free amongst the squirrels in New York City and in the trees and stuff. Go ahead, go do that. Enjoy your squirrel time, if you will. And he runs into, before he leaves, Jimmy Durante and his wife and his beautiful daughter who just came back into town. But they're kind of slicksters, but kind of not. They don't really, they kind of evade paying rent and whatnot, but they also try to be very loyal and honest about who they are, what they are as a family. And they're a loving family too. They hear from this old man about how they could move into his old place that he got evicted from. And it's a very run-down place. They take the time, they go visit the place, talk to the landlord and his son, and Jimmy Durante's daughter immediately finds a crush in this handsome young man that is the son of the landlord. And the son keeps making all these promises to them about like he'll do this for free, he'll do that for free. The stuffy landlord dad is not happy about it, the mom is not happy about it. But Jimmy Durante and his family come in very humble, very meek, and try to make a kind of a sour, bad thing with this rundown part of the house a good thing. Now, before they showed up, Rupert the squirrel happened to get back into the house where he was from, basically raised, I guess, into tap dancing, and he sneaks up the rafters and goes into a small hole between the two houses. Now, getting over to the landlord and the other side of the house, he has some kind of like gold reserve or something at this time, and he's bringing in thousands of dollars a month, and he's hiding it in a baseboard of a wall that has a hole in it, and the squirrel happens to be living in there. Now, there's a hole in the roof of Jimmy Durante's family's part of the house. And that squirrel being in the middle there keeps taking the money and throwing it over to the side, and it's going down to that hole through this very specific spot onto the ground. And the family, after the wife was praying one day to God for money because Jimmy Durante doesn't like to hold a job, in a very funny way, not an annoying way, which was cool for this too. Because I love black and white films, this movie kind of holds that sentiment of what makes stuff like that fun. But they think the money is from God, right? And I think you could argue, in my opinion, as a Christian, that it was in a very humorous way, even though it's just a squirrel throwing it over to the side into a hole. But the stuffy landlord never really notices that his money is going missing, which I thought was kind of funny. As greedy and selfish as he is, especially compared to his own son, who's trying to be so loving and giving, even if it's in the name of love to this chick next door that he's crazy about, the landlord never notices the money being missing, which is kind of wild to me, because of the kind of person he is. The writing for all of these characters is so distinct, even down to somebody who's probably the least of these characters, like Jimmy Durante's wife. But they're all so fun to watch, and I enjoyed the humor, the jokes, the laughter. This is very much a family movie, like a lot of black and white films were once upon a time, and it's a blast. If it doesn't make you smile at least once, there's something wrong with you. It's a really good Christmas film with some snow, with some great sets and whatnot. Sometimes it has that black and white feeling of a play, you know, more than anything. But the music is great, the jokes are great, the writing and acting from everybody was great. This was such a highlight, and frankly, this might be the best movie in this whole box set, despite my love for The Man Who Saved Christmas, and upcoming after this review, Borrowed Hearts. I was so impressed with Borrowed Hearts, but that's another story for another day. But anyway, The Great Rupert looked like it was going to be a total turd from that picture for the poster of this thing on this set. And I understand why they had to do it. If you had the original poster, I don't think people would pick up this set or watch that movie. But it was easily the best, and it proves my point once again. A lot of black and white films that were absolute wonderful gems back in the day did not become a classic like It's a Wonderful Life or like Miracle on 34th Street. No, they got thrown to the side, sadly enough, and this didn't deserve that. It was so much fun. It's so sweet and enjoyable. I could not recommend it enough if you haven't seen The Great Rupert. I had never heard of it, so if you haven't heard of it, but you're watching my review and you happen to watch a lot of my content, dude, trust me, if you like my taste in black and white movies, check this out. If you love Christmas movies, check this out. It has such a wonderful, almost kind of Christian theme to it about like being thankful for what we have, but understanding when we should appreciate what we've been given by God, especially when it's a massive blessing financially or whatever it may be. The Great Rupert was a massively great movie. Like I said, if I had to rate it on a 5-star basis, I would easily give this probably a 5 out of 5 stars. I loved it. It was so well made. And did you know that the stop motion animatronic puppet thing they did for this old squirrel, and they used a lot of real squirrels, I think, too, did you know the stop motion tap dancing was so well done, and I agree with that too, that apparently people contacted the director and other people involved in the movie and asked them how they trained a squirrel to do that? That's so unique. That's so neat to me. If those stories are true of that happening a lot, that's hilarious, you know? But anyway, have you seen it? What do you think about it? Let me know what your thoughts are about The Great Rupert down below. Thank you all for watching, guys, once again. God bless you all. Merry Christmas and goodbye.